Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
because
to
everything
PWR
I
Sunday.
say means something.
In your own mind.
You know, when
Damian Nelson sitting alongside
Stop.
David Hero, it's Bound for Glory Sunday.
Wait, when Jake the Snake Roberts did his, promos on TV,
yes,
he talked slow, he talked quiet.
So did Nick Bockwinkel.
It made people turn up the volume and listen to what he was saying.
So I should just speak quietly to you.
Well, no one's going to listen to you anyhow. But it's effective for some people.
It's Sunday, it's Bound for Glory Sunday, and last night on PrimeTime, we went over Bound for Glory and talked about it match by match, but there are still several matches to discuss, David Hero.
We did, but we didn't. I mean, it's hard to get invested in this show.
Are you not? Are you inclined to order it? As a fan, are you inclined to order Bound for Glory tonight?
For selfish reasons, probably not.
Selfish reasons.
I'm not invested in any one of these matches.
Night of Champions, $55. Battleground, $55. Bound for Glory, $50.
Hell in a Cell is coming up.
Hell in a Cell, $55. This is an expensive third quarter for wrestling pay-per-views. But be that as it may, we do have a pre-show gauntlet match that's going to be occurring on Spike TV. The winners will earn a tag team title shot tonight at Bound for Glory. That at 6 p.m. Eastern on Spike TV. 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And in that qualifying matchup, it will be Christopher Daniels and Kazarian versus Joseph Park and Eric Young versus the Bromans, Robbie E. and Mr. Spectacular, and Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez rounding out the team there. Now they will go on to face James Storm and Gunner. Who do you think wins that preliminary or that pre-show matchup?
I would like to see the Bromans get a shot. I think it could be a very entertaining match, but with Robbie winning his match on Impact, I don't think so. We've already seen Hernandez and Chavo, but they are in San Diego, and if you're looking for a certain demographic, it might be a sexy choice.
Do you want us to train right away?
The Dixie train right away.
I didn't ride that one.
And then you got Kaz and Daniels, who live out in California, and Daniels has been doing a ton of media for them.
As has AJ.
And there's kind of, just make it, who do you pick? I mean, seriously.
Who is the best team of those teams to go up against? Rude.
If you want
Gunner
the most entertaining
Storm.
match, then you pick the Bromans.
Yeah.
You do.
In contrasting styles, for sure.
Because you got the redneck cowboy good guys.
You mean that in the most
in the most affectionate way possible. And then you got the douchey Jersey guys. And why not? But you know what? If they do pick Robbie and Spectacular, they'll probably job him out in 2 minutes anyhow. But do you really want to see Kaz and Daniels against Gunner and James Storm again?
Oh, I could. I think they'll deliver. So, all right. Super.
They can't even get the pre-show right, for me. You know what I'm saying? There isn't.
All right, so give me the top 3 matches that Bound for Glory should have been focused around. If not Bully Ray and AJ, Sting and Magnus, and Angle and Rude, who should, or maybe you could agree that those are the ones that should have been focused around. If not that, then what?
Why not have Kurt Angle versus Bully Ray?
I think they had some challenges getting there due to Kurt's challenges.
But he's still there. He's still
Only
there.
for the last 2 weeks. You can't build your main event match on the...
No, you can't. But, I mean, I would rather see Kurt and Bully than AJ and Bully. Sting and AJ?
This is belaboring you.
It really is. The most, and people are going to say I'm saying this because he is a super friend, when Bully Ray beat Ken Anderson on Impact a month ago and pile drove him on the stage, there was a ton of heat there. That should be the main event. The vice president against the president.
Yeah.
Because that crowd was invested into that match.
You're exactly right. It's a good point. Well, that option not necessarily available right now.
No, because, Ken's contract expired, and I'm sure he's coming back in the next couple hours. You know, I want TNA to do well. I do. And it frustrates me because I see a lot of talented individuals in that company that are frustrated. You have the whole Hulk Hogan dynamic. You bring Hulk Hogan back, what do you do with him? Even AJ Styles says, you bring Hulk Hogan back, you have to know how to use him. And they haven't used Hulk Hogan properly. Wouldn't you agree? There's been no return on investment with Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm. As we talked about.
None. Jeff Hardy is the biggest. Jeff Hardy is the only guy in that company that pays for himself because of merchandise.
And they don't properly market him either. I will say, though, there are some Bound for Glory spots that are out there that focus on nothing but Jeff Hardy. Smart.
Because he's the only recognizable face for a casual audience.
Angle. Yeah, you're right.
He really is. It's the only one that kids are going to gravitate towards.
This is to be a celebration of TNA as they go into their biggest event of the year. Biggest event of the year because they keep telling us
But they call it BFG. Okay?
Hashtag.
Vince McMahon doesn't say, we're going to WM. No,
Nor
it's
is it a title.
WrestleMania.
Nor is it a belt.
No.
Nor are they wrestlers.
They should say Bound for Glory. You know, I used to love and appreciate the Bound for Glory series. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they started it usually in May. So you had 5 months of programming people that Bound for Glory means something.
They started it early this year. Just
And
nobody
what
cared.
did they do? They screwed up the
Ultimately,
whole
didn't matter,
thing.
yeah. Here's my question. You have Blizzard Brawl. You do several
Yes.
shows a year. Blizzard
Yes.
Brawl. Why do you call Blizzard Brawl your show of shows?
Because it's been branded that way. I mean, it's an event. I don't call it BB. Okay? The Blizzard Brawl brand is known better than Great Lakes Championship Wrestling.
But what made it the biggest show of the year? Is it the fact that it's the most attended show of the year? Is it the fact that the most stars appear on that show? Is
Absolutely.
it the fact that it's in the biggest venue?
It is.
So
it's all of
conversely
that.
speaking, you look at WrestleMania, it explains itself. What is different about Bound for Glory to any of the other 3 pay-per-views TNA has done this year? Except for them telling us it's their biggest event of the year.
They have a Hall of Fame attached to it.
Which
And they're
is
in-
an afterthought, basically. No knock on Kurt Angle, no knock on the fact that they're
it's
trying to do a
not.
Hall of Fame, but it's
But here, and
not a part of the weekend,
Like I
it's an
said
after.
yesterday, you can't compare WWE to TNA. You can't.
correct. We're not, but we are comparing what constitutes a big event in wrestling. WrestleMania is what it is because it draws so many people, and it is where the showcase of the Immortals occur. If you look back, even in the history of Bound for Glory, and look at what Bound for Glory will be, they're going to be in a half arena again.
They're gonna have a rider truck out back.
The event
That's
will look the
not
same
wrapped.
as Impact has for the last several, but since they've gone on the road and the way all the rest of their pay-per-views, there won't be any pyro. They're no celebrities. They don't need all that stuff. But I'm looking
No,
for.
they do
my
need
question
it.
is, my question is, what is that hook? What is that draw? Because I could sit here and tell you, as Tony Schiavone did every Monday night on WCW Nitro, that this is the biggest night in the history of professional wrestling. What is backing it up? What is backing up the fact that tonight? TNA Bound for Glory is their biggest show of the year, aside from them telling us.
Do you know who the
it's their
biggest
show
star
of
of
the
Bound
year?
for Glory is going to be tonight?
Who dat?
Dixie Carter.
Will it be the height of her heels or her
She
hair?
will wind
Or
up
her-
being the biggest star tonight.
I'm down with that. Fine. Do that. Sure. Give me something as long as it's worthwhile. I could take that coming out of Bound
You
for
got to
Glory.
figure she'll get involved with Sting and Magnus. And then she'll probably get involved with AJ and Bully.
God, I hope she doesn't put a vest on. That could happen. She could end up part of Aces and Eights, a la Bischoff, WCW.
No,
and
I doubt that.
NWO.
I doubt that would happen. That would be terrible.
This was not a show.
You just bashed TNA for the last 10 minutes. I'm trying to be the voice of reason and convince you to order the thing.
After you said you weren't going to order it.
I'm not going to. And it's not.
Oh, we're going to talk about it next week. Are you gonna, you're not going to find it on a website, are you?
You know, listen. There
Can
is
you order it on their app? They are showing it in establishments, by the way. Finally. Bars and restaurants, those establishments.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad you made that clear.
I don't know which ones, but it is available in those this year. So that's why it's their biggest event of the year. It's the first one available on in public places.
I want Jeff Hardy to do good. I want AJ Styles to have a great match. I want Austin Aries to be the star he is. I want Magnus to have that breakout match. I want Sting to do what's best for business. But I don't think any of that's going to happen. And that's what frustrates me.
Well, Bound for Glory is tonight on pay-per-view.
Last week, Dixie Carter spent more time in the ring investing into making fun of Triple H and Stephanie than she was in truly.
A brief mention over her entire time in the ring, which was about 10 minutes.
You'll never be them. You'll never come close to being like them. Don't acknowledge them. Work on making your product the best you can be.
Maybe they'll do that tonight at Bound for Glory.
You are, man. I hope you're right. I do. But when was the last time we said, wow, that was a great offering by TNA Impact Wrestling? A year ago?
Will Hulk Hogan be a part of the show tonight?
He absolutely will.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really? You think that there are rumors out there that they offered him a contract worth a couple million a year and it's more than WWE was willing to pay him?
If Hulk Hogan is not in TNA Impact Wrestling tonight,
but that
they're going to have to offer refunds to the 73 people.
Hogan.
Yes.
No spot I've seen has advertised Hogan. I'm sorry.
Locally.
Recently.
Locally in San Diego, he's been advertised. You cannot say, oh yeah, Hulk Hogan's coming, brother, and then he's not there. First of all, you can't refund a papered ticket, okay? But the people that will buy a ticket are going to want a refund. I'm begging you, TNA, do what's best for business. Create your own stars.
So you're advocating that they overpay Hulk Hogan, who's basically unadvertised for tonight's event.
I'm not saying overpay for him. I'm saying you will lose more money by him not being there than if he's there.
Let's say
because you will have damage to your brand. Okay? Oh, come on.
Which brand? TNA or Impact Wrestling?
Both. You can't say Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all time. The biggest name in professional wrestling is going to be at your show in San Diego at the Viejo Arena, whatever it's called. And then he's not there.
Card is subject to change.
Not Hulk Hogan. Even Vince McMahon wouldn't do that. He wouldn't say, oh yeah, he refunds when John Cena's not there.
Sure. But how many people take that option? 12?
I think TNA might. The fans at that Bound for Glory. I think most of them are buying a ticket to see Hulk Hogan.
If they were, they wouldn't be struggling to get 5,000 or 6,000 people there. They'd be in a 20,000 seat venue, and
but there is no public awareness of it. You're in San Diego. Mm-hmm. That's not a wrestling capital.
No, it's a shorts and flip-flops capital.
You need to go to Chicago, New York, hell, you know what?
Memphis.
Memphis would be great. Why not go back to Nashville?
Philadelphia, Nashville.
They had talked about bringing it to Milwaukee a couple years ago. You don't go out west, a place where you don't normally tour.
But the Dixie train has a stop in San Diego.
She has a stop everywhere. I get that. But still, I mean, Minneapolis, great wrestling, St. Louis.
I don't know if it's still the case, and I may have mentioned this before on this show.
Oh, wait, they can't go back to St. Louis. That was an abomination last time they were there.
WWE picks its markets how? TV ratings. People are watching the program. They know they have an audience there. That's how they route their shows. TNA goes to where certain people in the company thinks it's pretty.
Oh, that's where the dart landed on that one. They go to C-size towns, D-size towns.
San Diego's a prime market. San Diego's
for Bound for Glory, yes. But what building are they in?
The one that they could make look good on TV.
Yeah, the best deal they got.
Their company.
The best deal they got.
The purpose of this episode was to tell you about the remaining matches for Bound for Glory tonight on pay-per-view. It is your choice as to whether or not you want to order the pay-per-view show. You have said that AJ Styles will become the new world champion tonight.
I said he has to be the favorite.
You have said that we will see Hulk Hogan tonight.
Yes.
At Bound for Glory, even though he is reportedly not contracted by the company. And you have said that Dixie will play a huge part in tonight's show.
Absolutely.
She will be the star of Bound for Glory.
I can't even book this pay-per-view. I
That's
really
why we
can't.
didn't whip out the dry erase board. It's hiding. I can't even find it here in the studio.
Wow, I think Linda took it. She's drawing things all over here lately. Phalanges and nonsense.
Thank you for joining us here for this Bound for Glory preview. Enjoy Bound for Glory tonight on pay-per-view. I will be watching.
Are you tweeting live tonight?
You are such a jerk. You are a complete jerk. You know that, don't you? No, I will not be live tweeting tonight because I'm going to watch and enjoy the show.
Of course you are. Yeah, right. Well, then follow Arda. I'm sure he's going to. No, he won't. He's too
I'm
cheap.
surprised you were able to say his name right.
Well, you wrote it down for me phonetically.
For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you again next Saturday night for Prime Time. So long, everybody.